Hi, how's it going? So, whilst I was working on this speed paint, I thought it would be fun to put together a little bit of commentary where I do my best to talk you through all the different ideas I tried out while I was making this piece, and also why I picked the ones I ended up using in the final design. Now, that being said, let's get started. So the initial idea I went into the sketch with was sort of multi-eyed monster with a lot of horror-esque influences. I first tried sketching a more wide mouth, but I ended up preferring a more T-shaped head with a longer, more open mouth instead. I also drafted some wrinkles so I could break up some of the flatter surfaces and also start adding that horror-esque styling that I was going for. And with the rough sketch pretty much done, I went into the line art. I ended up having to readjust the bottom left part of the head to accommodate the tweaked jaw shape, but other than that, the rest of the initial line art went fairly smoothly. I deliberately made the inside of the mouth rough and scribbly to keep the horror aesthetic going and tie in the various thin wrinkles that I sketched out. And I continued that scribbled shading around the rest of the head, and that really highlighted that sort of rough, creepy look that I was going for. I thickened some of the lines as well, like the jaw and the middle three eyes, so they'd stick out from the rest of the line work. There's not much to say about the base colouring. I thought about going for a sort of lifeless grey colour, but instead I went for a more desaturated purple, mainly so that I had more hues and contrast to work with. First I decided to dull down the scribbles in the mouth with a reduced opacity black backdrop to add just a bit of refinement, and I also put some dark rings under the eyes to complement the wrinkles. One of the more effective touches, in my opinion at least, were the red lines in the eyes, which I find really refined the otherworldly, sort of horror-inspired aesthetic by adding some much-needed contrast that draws your attention to each of the 9 eyes pretty much instantly. The yellow teeth also add some more of that nice contrast and pull your focus from the eyes all the way down to the mouth. As well as doing some more shading, I finally added some shoulders to the design, and although they're a lot less prominent and detailed than everything else in the drawing, they are important in that they ground it a little bit and stop it from being an unfinished looking floating head. Once I'd finished that, I was pretty happy with how the drawing was coming together and decided to move on to the background. So I had pretty much no idea what I was going to do for the background, but I knew I wanted it to have an earthy shade to it. So I picked a colour and started cleaning up the eyes and teeth of the drawing, because for the whole process I'd had them against an already white backdrop. After that, I started experimenting with sort of cave entrance, but in the end I made the shape more angled to make it seem more like a weird abstract light source. And I ended up really leaning into the abstract look with some darkening layers that also create a little more depth and really pull your focus towards the face of the creature. I also wanted to add a sort of mid-ground to the piece, but the low opacity drop shadow I tried was a little too dark and intense, and I found the white sort of motion lines were way too flat and bright to put behind the character. Eventually I landed on a sort of semi-transparent spotlight, which I found effectively completed the background, and added the last bit of depth that cohesively fused the detailed monster with its much more abstract surroundings. Overall, I think I'm fairly happy with the result. There are a few parts, especially the top of the head and the dark parts around the chin, that I find look quite odd, but on the other hand I'm really happy with the details in the eyes and mouth, and I don't think I did too badly of a job creating a horror aesthetic. To me at least, I find this drawing mostly an improvement over my last piece of digital art that I uploaded to my channel, which you can find on screen right now if you want to have a look. Other than that, I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one. Bye!